Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Before starting, I would like you to know that I will be following a strategical way to give you a clear insight of the topic by using what, why, and how type of questions. Now, without any further delay, let's get into the topic. There might be a question that arises to you. Why is this liquid dosage form being formulated in the first place? This medication come under the category of hematinins, used to treat or prevent low blood levels of iron, such as those caused by anemia or pregnancy. Now let's divide this hematonic medicament. This medicament contains two components. They are syrup and ferrous sulfate salt. Firstly, let us decode the concept of syrup. What actually is a syrup? A syrup, by definition, is a condensed, nearly saturated solution of sucrose in purified H20. A saturated solution means a solution in which the solute particles, sucrose, is completely dissolved in the solvent, water, and not allowing further solute particles to be dissolved in the solvent, giving a viscous-like consistency to the solution. It is basically used as a vehicle, medium to provide a stable environment and mobility to the API. Syrup is used as a pharmaceutical aid. Pharmaceutical aids are the drugs or substances which have no or little pharmacological effect, but they are essentially used in the preparation of pharmaceutical dosage forms. It is used as a vehicle due to the following reasons. First, a vehicle is supposed to provide palatability to drugs which possesses unpleasant taste. In this cases we use sucrose as the ingredient which has a sweet taste. Secondly, the vehicle need to provide a stable, pathogen-free environment to the API. In this syrup that we are preparing, contains sucrose, which on partial hydrolysis, gives reducing sugars like glucose and fructose, which act as antioxidants that possess the property of preservatives. It can also counteract or inhibit the pathogenic population by producing an osmotic pressure gradient. That is, water from microorganisms is withdrawn when syrup come in contact, which create a hypertonic environment when compared to the pathogen, and leads to destruction by plasmolysis. We have successfully completed the syrup, a part of ferrous sulfate syrup. Now coming to the API, that is ferrous sulfate, we will be first discussing about the chemical properties of it. It is basically a salt, and salt is readily miscible in water. But the real problem arises when ferrous sulfate, which is readily oxidized upon reacting with oxygen molecule in the water, solvent, and converting ferrous ions, Fe+2, into ferric ions, Fe+3, eventually leading to formation of precipitate. This precipitate result in decoloration of solution from green to reddish brown. To overcome this problem, ferrous sulfate is dissolved in water in the presence of small amount of sucrose, as sucrose upon partial hydrolysis gives reducing sugars such as glucose, dextrose, and fructose, levulose, which act as antioxidants. These antioxidants prevent the oxidation of ferrous to ferric, by reverting the formed ferric ions to ferrous upon reaction. Now coming to the ingredients required to prepare ferrous sulfate syrup are 4 grams of ferrous sulfate, 8.2 grams of sucrose, 2 gm of citric acid. Citric acid is used as a stabilizing agent to prevent the decoloration of the solution due to formation of ferric PPT, by forming a soluble complex with ferrous ions, thus preventing its precipitation. 2 milliliters of peppermint oil. Peppermint oil is administered in this preparation to produce a good aroma, as it increases the palatability. And make the final volume, 100 milliliters, water. Coming to the procedure, dissolve 1/4 th of calculated amount of working formula of sucrose to 3/4 of water. This is to avoid the highly viscous consistency of the solution. For a rapid solvation of sucrose, you can heat it on a water bath. But remember to let it cool before transferring the syrup to a container, to avoid condensed water molecules from diluting the upper layer of the syrup, which causes fermentation. Now take a beaker of capacity of your choice, that is the working formulation. To the above solution, add required amount of ferrous sulfate and let it get completely dissolved. Subsequently, add citric acid and peppermint oil and make up to the final volume with water. And make the final volume, 100 milliliters, water. Storage of syrup. In most cases the fermentation is not completely avoidable, so we use loosely stoppered container, for the evolved CO2, due to fermentation, to escape. And store the syrup in room temperature to avoid condensation, in warmer conditions, and crystallization, in cool conditions. I hope your concept is crystal clear. Thank you. In case of any doubts, please state your questions in the comment section below.